Hello, my name is Creighton Rippey. I'm the director of the Greater Detroit Community Outreach Center here in Detroit, Michigan. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about something that's very close to my heart personally, because first and foremost, Greater Detroit Community Outreach Center, of which I began back in 1976, started in the basement of the Greater Triumph Missionary Baptist Church. And I remember back then, for over 40 years ago, they asked me, they said, oh, he wants to start a program to help prevent teenage pregnancies. And they thought at the time that I would be bringing in young pregnant teens to try to counsel them towards preventing second and further pregnancies. Well, I had to explain to them that that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to prevent the first one. And they wanted to, okay, well, we have the teens here. I says, well, no, we don't want to do that either. What we want to do is go into the homes with the mama and the daddy and sit down at the kitchen table and we start talking at 9 years old, at 10 years old. And it's a prevention through education and understanding that what the young people needed more than anything else is that an outlet to go to as they began to meet the social pressures in life, and the parents would be, we wanted them to be the first option. So it took a little while, and they understood that Greater Detroit started in the basement of the Greater Triumph Baptist Church, and then we were eventually able to get our own facility. And as it indicated right now, we have 3 building facilities. So one of the most important things, and as I said, this is very close to my heart, and that is the church's role in giving to the poor. The church role in giving to the poor. Well, it all started there. It started with Mother Teresa. In Detroit, we have a gentleman, they call him Father Cunningham. We call the program for Focus Hope. And the church has played a very vital role, not only in terms of giving to the poor, but creating training, options, schools, you name it. It all started with the help of the church. And so therefore the church plays a very vital role. But what happens is, and this is very important because we miss it, is as the church provides guidance and programs to help the poor, other organizations begin to do the same thing. So they not only have the churches started, but they started other programs, other organizations also to help the poor. And as technology advanced, it begins to skyrocket in terms of what we could do to help the poor. Now here's what's wrong, or here's what's happening, not necessarily what's wrong, is that the technology, sometimes it outweighs or gets more, it's faster than the avenues of which we use to help. For example, as we talked a little bit about welfare earlier, the church, in a sense, it starts it, and then the government comes in, and the foundations, and then the government, they come in and they help. So they increase the level of support. But the point we want to make is that if you increase the level of support without understanding the options, you may forget that we also want to prevent this from happening from the beginnings. And that's where we missed the boat. And that's what our struggle is at this time, 40 years later, to talk about the needs for preventing as opposed to service. We can get the service, but it's very important that we understand the need for prevention. In fact, our program and our elements of talking to you has been to try to show we must first try to prevent the problems of the poor. In our case, prevention of teenage pregnancies. And then if we can't prevent it, then we provide service for servicing the problem. But the point is, and that's what we're showing, is that by going into the homes, working with the parents, before that, we have a better chance, a much better chance. And our records are showing a 99% success ratio of the homes that we're going into and the kids not becoming teen parents. Now, And that's over 100,000 parents over the 40-year span. But the point is, it's this way with any program, whether it be housing, whether it be feeding the poor. It's the same that we must find the avenues of reaching those clients that we want to talk to, reaching them before the problem occurs. Now, one might say, well, that's a great task, or that's, in theory, that might work, but that's not true. That's not true. Once you find that outlet that you have to reach, we're saying this is just a small outlet. The teenagers, reaching them through the homes with the parents. Now, unemployment, housing, they're programs that target specific areas. Now, the problem has been that we have not been able to collaborate within the realms of working on the same problem. That means that the service agencies that service those teenage pregnancies are not working with the prevention programs that are designed to prevent those. That service agency that are working with the homeless are not working with those agencies that are designed to prevent it. And unfortunately, and we have to be very open and honest with you, it's a question of that money, the funders' dollars, the donated dollars, the government dollars. They're taking sides. They're deciding who to fund. Some fund the prevention, most fund the service. So that's the struggle. And in our efforts back 40 years ago, in our efforts now, and I hope in our efforts in the future, is to try to show that unless we do a collaborative effort, unless this is done within the realms of prevention as well as service, we're not going to achieve any results, or any results of any significant form. Now, what we're trying to say to you then, ladies and gentlemen, of your church, your organization, your foundation that you support, your United Foundation efforts that you support, your church group that you support that supports the poor, it's important to see that unless we do work with a prevention effort, that we cannot expect any significant results. And that's our goal. And we feel that the more we keep talking, the more we make this plain to you, the quicker we'll be able to see this come to fruition. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say this, and I'd like to ask of you, to the God of your understanding, we're asking for your prayers in helping us achieve our goal. Again, my name is Creighton Rippey. I'm the director of the Greater Detroit Community Outreach Center here in Detroit, Michigan. Thank you.